What are some things that you're unwilling to do for your partner, if there are any?
Oh, okay. All right.
Unwilling to do for
Things you're unwilling to do.
So who do you want to shoot this off first?
Who would you like to
Aaron?
start?
I'm going back to the randomizer.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
The randomizer really picks everything, because if a guy goes on your side, then the girl got to go next.
Yeah,
over
on
here.
the opposite side
So
like that.
the first one picks
exactly.
everybody.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
Amber goes first, then it'll be on B, then it'll be on me. Then it'll be
Just so you guys know your colors, if you can't read the words, Drew, you're yellow, Amber, you're red, you're green, I'm blue.
Why couldn't it be blue?
Amber.
Oh, it's on Amber.
It's on Amber.
Oh, so for me, a couple of things that I would not sacrifice. There are very little things. I feel like I would definitely, go round for Drew. But one thing I would never sacrifice is just my free thought, my individuality, my faith. I feel like that's something that I would not compromise. When it boils down to me and the soul of me, if it were ever something like you felt like you wanted to change about me, then you're not accepting me fully for who I am. So I always would want to feel comfortable just fully expressing myself, even if it doesn't get the best response. I would want you to be able to just understand. And sometimes sometimes we will have to agree to disagree. Because for my personality type, I can be very headstrong and I can be really stubborn. Yeah. And sometimes when we do have disagreements, and I may not see eye to eye to Drew, my initial reaction is very emotional. So a lot of the time I have to really take some time to really think about it and kind of revisit it later, and kind of share what my thoughts are with Drew after everything has kind of died down. I remember even in the very beginning of our relationship, before I was even able to settle a disagreement, I would just shut down.
Hated that.
I would just shut down.
That.
I didn't have the space to really sit through and talk anything through, because my temper was so bad. Like, I was still working through my temper when we first started dating, and being able to kind of just kind of brace myself and really think about stuff before I react. So instead of reacting, I would just shut down completely, and there would be absolutely no reaction. And it would be a while before we would even come to some sort of resolve.
So your thing is, if you feel like you can't speak your mind?
If I can't speak my mind, and in the beginning it was kind of like fear, I was kind of hesitant on that, because I wasn't sure how you would take it. But now that we've grown together, I feel like that's something I embrace more, being able to kind of speak what I'm really feeling in that moment, try to come to some sort of resolve to the argument or whatever it may be. It may be something petty, but that's something that I really hold on to, is my voice. Because for me, I've always been kind of like, I hated confrontation. I don't really voice up anymore, but since being in this relationship, what I've learned a lot from you, and I feel like it's kind of rubbed off on me, is being able to really express myself. Cool. So that's something I would never sacrifice. I would never give up in my faith. But other than that, I feel like if it's reasonable, I would do it for him.
So if I said stop eating pork, you would stop eating pork?
I don't mind not eating pork. It's not good for you anyway, so. I don't eat much pork now, to be real.
Good.
I don't
That's
eat
perfect.
much pork, so it would be nothing for me to stop eating pork.
That's perfect. And there's nothing I would tell you to do to be like, all right, boom, don't do that.
Good. I'm glad you know
I don't
that.
think so. Not yet.
Good, you know better.
Oh, goodness.
That's on beans now.
I can't really think of anything that, like, I wouldn't do. I mean, obviously, like, there's shit that just doesn't, like, make sense.
You to kill somebody with your
Yeah, like, shit like, depending.
You would do it?
You wouldn't?
It depends.
Oh, it depends.
Not just like, not just like no
Random
reason
shit,
or some
yeah.
shit.
Not
Yeah.
like if she point a nigga out in the street and say, kill him.
No,
Reason,
I'm
though.
not
you know
doing
you always
that.
got it on you.
You know,
You
beans
know-
always got it on. No.
You know,
I was thinking the same shit.
I'm not walking
No,
to the
beans-
mailbox without it. So
Oh, God.
You know, beans always got grocery store or not. No.
yeah, if I see that security is like, it's going in there too.
No.
But yeah, what's your answer?
But yeah, no, I can't really think of any like I said, like, unless it's just like something that's like really crazy, I can't really think of anything that I just like would it do?
What if she said?
I don't know.
What if Bree was like, oh, I don't like you doing this entrepreneur life. Can you just go get a job? And that's something you strongly believe in. How
it depends on the situation.
It depends.
If
on
I
what do you mean?
if I had like a kid, if we had like kids or some shit, and it's just like, all right, nigga, I'm pulling all the weight. I'm like, all right.
I'm saying no kid. If she said
no,
like, right
I'm not
now, she's
doing that.
like, yo, that's okay. And you're not doing that because of what?
Because I'm not about to be miserable for just because.
Gotcha.
Working a job
So
is,
it's like
makes
you
me
won't
miserable.
sacrifice your happiness
Yeah,
for okay.
Honestly, it depends. I think it depends on what it is. Honestly, because there's a lot of shit that like that can make you happy that not necessarily like good for you or good for your relationship. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can't necessarily say that either. Mm-hmm. Like for instance, like say I were to like keep getting into like motorcycle accidents or something, and somebody was just like, oh, like, you know, you should really consider like not doing that, like, you know what I'm saying, or some people are just like really on me to like not do it. Maybe I would like probably not now, but I would consider like letting it go, and that shit makes me happy. So I can't necessarily say like my happiness.
Because you've gotten in a couple accidents, has anyone ever told you like don't get on the bike again?
Of course,
Your mom.
my mom.
but he got his car accidents too.
I want to say. So hey,
no, but
anything
cars,
with wheels on
anything that moves, I'll crash that shit.
Bike is another. Bike is like
you know, we don't crash bikes, cars.
I've crashed a school bus.
So his mama told him not to get on the bike anymore, and guess what he did? He got another bike.
Got another bike and kept getting it. And then did more than 30 in the neighborhood, like she told you to.
Of course.
You did 50.
Yeah, so I guess, like I said, I guess it really all depends. Like in general, it all depends. But in general, I think no. There's not like much I wouldn't do.
Okay.
And I think anybody that like really knows me kind of like could like vouch for that. There's not like much I'm gonna just be like nah to.
I think I know you, but I wouldn't vouch for that 100%.
But nigga, you ain't never asked me for nothing or asked me to do some shit.
No, I'm not talking about from my standpoint. I wouldn't, because I'm about talking about like I feel from what I know of Beans. I feel like there's certain things that if somebody, even Bree, and y'all being in love, I feel like there's some things that if she told you to do that you wouldn't even do.
Like what?
For one, the entrepreneur thing.
Okay,
for
all right.
two, if she was like, oh, come to church every Sunday, I feel like you wouldn't do that.
I might go once.
That's what I'm saying.
Every Sunday.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
So I guess, like I said, I'm sure there are things. I just couldn't really think of any at the time. Like,
yeah, I could think of some.
All right, well, throw out some more examples, and I'll confirm more. I said throw out more examples, and I'll confirm more.
For one, if she told you get a job right now, a 9 to 5, you wouldn't do it.
Nope.
If she told you come to church every Sunday and I need you to read the Bible study Wednesdays, you're not doing it.
You can't force your religion on somebody.
I'm just naming specifically things because Bean's saying there's nothing.
No, I'm not saying there's anything. I'm just saying like generally like that I can like think of or like things that are like I guess religion could be important to somebody.
Yeah, I think he's not really thinking on it. Like you got to think there's a lot of things in your life.
I want to hear the other ones.
If she is like those are really the only two that I can really think of.
That he wouldn't.
So that's what I'm saying. So in general, there's not that much shit.
Everything is kind of like
most things
based off of situation.
I will do it.
Yeah, most things Beans.
Most things I'm gonna do. Like, all right, certain shit is just like, all right, yeah, I'm not doing that. But like for the most part, there's not really anything I wouldn't do. Do you have that? Sound like you got something you want to say? What you got to say?
No, I'm just
free.
No. Nothing to say. It's not my turn to respond.
Yes, I'm asking you a question, so it is your turn. I'm giving you the floor.
Yeah, she has the floor.
The was just for me, like getting to know you and understanding you. Like you say that now, but I think when a situation may present itself, that may not be the case.
So what are the examples?
I can't think of like a concrete example.
So you can't say that.
I can because you're just as stubborn.
You can't say that.
You're just as stubborn and headstrong when it comes to certain things.
Your life. I always put other people before myself.
Can I finish?
Yeah, you gotta let her talk, Beans. You gave her the floor, Beans. You gave her the floor.
So
you did.
there are like parts of you that are just like very like stubborn and like headstrong, and you will stick to your guns when it comes to certain things, and you won't budge. I can't say like what that scenario may be right now. But I know that about you, and no, you would just be like, I'm not doing it at all.
But yeah, there are certain things. There are certain things. But I'm talking about like when it comes to like, I asked about your partner. So when it comes to you, I'm asking you, what would I not do? I'm not talking about just random situations that may come up in life. I'm asking
you right now.
No, I'm just saying like situations that may involve me may come up, and I feel as though you. Would
I
just
can't
be
think
like,
of any.
Nah.
Out of those two that he just said, literally outside of that, I really can't think of any. Mm-hmm. Like I couldn't even think of those two. But like outside of that, nothing.
I don't know. I think anything that would compromise like the essence of you, you would say no. And like the reason
that's the essence of me, entrepreneur, and I ain't fucking with religion. Other than that, I'm cool.
But I mean that's what I mean by like you would say no. I just can't even think of like a scenario off the top of my head. And the reason that
you can't say that then if you just don't.
No,
have,
the reason
not a single example.
But the reason I say that is because we're very similar in the same that we are very stubborn. We're very headstrong. Like we stick to our guns. Like how I feel is how I feel. How you feel is how you feel.
Similar is not the same though.
There are going to be times where you're literally going to just say no.
I'll wait for an example though. I got all the time in the world. I'll wait.
Okay.
So who's on the?
It's on me. All right.
Okay.
When it comes to my relationship with Ann Breezy, ain't nothing I won't do. I don't think it's not one thing that I won't do. If she ever suggests something, I'll probably like try to compromise and say, okay, do you really think we have to rob this bank? Like, is that the best thing? And if she's like, yes, I'm feeling this in my stomach, we gotta rob this bank, I think I'll ride for it. I don't think there's nothing. It's nothing. There's literally nothing that I could think, that if Amber's like, okay, bye. Except maybe I might just like fight her more on certain things, but if she's like super duper stern on something, I think for the most part, it would be like, I would ride with it. I can't think of nothing, if that makes sense.
You can be stubborn, but if you feel like you trust my judgment.
It's
something logical and reasonable.
Logical, yeah, because if it's something, and there's never been a time where you just might say something unlogical, and I'm just like if it's just, it's not gonna be the blind leading the blind. Like, I ain't just gonna do no stupid shit. But the most of the time, like, if it's
logical and we can get away with it, and I suggested, trust I already have a way we can get away with it.
Yeah, and we'll come to a compromise. I can't say, but I know.
Y'all niggas scamming?
She wouldn't even, I don't know.
Huh? Y'all niggas scamming on the side?
No.
That promotion really meant something else, huh? Mm-hmm. That's not a promotion that
the money coming into the house, another source
that was
of
something
income.
Else. Next time I come to Dallas, they're gonna be in a big ass mansion, and I'm like, oh, that's what happened.
Exactly. It's gonna be a Picasso in the background and shit, a real Basquiat instead of a book. But yeah, I don't think it's nothing, man. I'm on gold type of guy when it comes to Amber, my mom, my sister, my brother,
his friends,
my cousins, my friends.
Yeah.
Beans, no. Stefan, no. Like I'm just I don't know. My loyalty go. I mean, and of course, being in a relationship prior to loyalty, I might have stepped out of the relationship, but when my loyalty goes, like, it's like I'm a ride or die type of person. Like, wrong or right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's nothing that I won't do, basically.
Yeah. There's nothing I would ask, like, I feel like I wouldn't
change. Wait. You went already, didn't you?
Yeah, I already went.
Okay, I had to double check and make sure. I forgot what you said.
I said that I would basically do anything as long as you're not changing me at my core.
Okay, yeah, I forgot your response. I've been drinking too much of this shut at home. All right, so yeah, that's my answer. I'm on go. Mm-hmm. It's nothing, yeah, I'm a rock out. If this is anything that's logical. Now, if you say, oh, Andrew, don't go outside and walk on 2 feet, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do that. But anything logical.
You go outside on your hands, doing handstand.
I'll ride out with it. Regardless.
Mm-hmm. I think I am similar in the same, like, regards as Amber. Anything that I feel as though can alter, like, the essence of me or make me go against my own, like, moral compass, I think I'd just be like, no. I don't think that there are many things where I can just be like, okay, you're trying to change who I am or change how I, like, see the world and it's detrimental to me. I don't think I would say no. I think I may...
What are some examples of those type of things, if you don't mind me asking?
I think just like trying to alter my like values as far as like family and how like I may put family on like a pedestal and things like that. But
so like if he was to say, oh, you don't have to go to this person's birthday because you went to the birthday last year, you would say, oh no, like that's a dub. I can go to the birthday type thing.
Yeah, like that's fine. I like birthday parties. My birthday's coming up too, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, birthday's coming up. Y'all better have our backdrop ready,
That's
our
funny.
tinsel and our balloons.
But I think because I won't say no, that I may still, I guess, like argue or debate with you just to have an understanding of something that I may not necessarily agree with or something that I may not see from your stance. And it's just like just understanding that me asking questions or me saying whatever is to seek either clarity or understanding or to have you understand my point of things, if that makes sense. But
So what happens when you don't get that?
what do you mean?
When you don't get that understanding, because everybody you're not always gonna see eye to eye, and you might not understand everything. What happens then?
I think when we don't see eye to eye or there's no understanding, I think that's something that we have to learn to work through as like a couple. Nothing is wrong with agreeing to disagree, but we have to learn how to healthily agree to disagree, and just
Cause y'all, how long have y'all been like dating exclusively? Y'all still
fresh.
I
Like,
don't even
what,
think we.
5?
I don't even think in the
months?
beginning of the podcast we put
we
like
count
how long we were
Almost
together.
6 months.
the days differently. I say 5, he says 6.
Okay.
Okay, you talking about months, not
Months,
years,
yeah.
correct?
This nigga said years.
Yes, just so the viewers can understand. They're not.
Why
They
do
been
you
together 5
Why do you
years.
say 6?
I be counting them.
He
weird.
counts them very strange. So
She
like,
count at the end of them.
How does
count
he
so
the
count?
first
I
First
count.
went to
So
the
we
house?
started dating on the 17th of November. So I count we've been together for a month, the 17th
Okay.
of December. I see that as a month. He's like, oh well, no, that's the beginning of month 2. So we're going on for 2 months, and it's just like that's not how time laps. But okay. But that's how he sees it. So
See, so y'all are so that's also another beautiful thing is y'all at a total different even stage than we are.
Yeah.
Being 3 years and some months
In
into
August,
it.
it'll be 3 years in Dallas, and then for us together, we
Do you even
almost
remember?
4. I count
No, not
our first
almost
date.
4.
I count our first
And
date.
what was our first date?
December.
How you got the first date?
Yes, correct.
If that's the case, me and her been together for way over a year and like 4 or 5 months at this point.
I mean, but our first as Beans knows, our first date was like after that I was like, okay, yeah, this is what it is. Boom.
wait,
It
how
was
wait, how
like-
did
I
it
don't
even
know that.
happen?
I don't know that.
that got to be a whole nother thing. We'll say that's more content for
okay.
down the road when we talk about our first
Okay.
date. Yeah, our first thing, because that could be a whole episode on first dates and
Yeah, that would be
how
funny.
y'all got together. That would be real funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so Bree, it's that so funny that Bree's thing is basically like the same thing as Amber's. Like y'all are
Yeah.
but y'all are both the same sign, so this isn't even fair, really. So of course y'all are gonna have the same thoughts on some shit of if y'all because y'all hate
I would never
y'all hate
sacrifice my
being feel like
integrity.
y'all are being
Yeah,
controlled.
don't control me in my
can't
individuality.
stand it.
But the thing is,
I'm a
but here's
rebel
my
by
thing.
nature.
People don't
Here's
even
my,
be trying to
at all.
control.
And then my thing is this: I would never ask you to.
Ah,
what the
shit.
fuck
Hold
you
on.
just happened?
Wait. I got a call coming through. Damn.
Hey, you need to put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
It's still going to pop up. All right. Yeah. What you saying, Vince?
My thing is that I would never ask you to do some shit that I wouldn't be willing to do myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not ever going to control you. You always have a choice. Like, no matter what it is, you will always have a choice. I'm
But
never going to tell you, do not do this. I can tell you, oh, I don't like when you do this, or I don't want you to do this. But I'm never going to tell you, don't do it. You can do whatever
But
you
I
want
feel
to
like
do.
that comes off the same way to me.
No, it shouldn't. Because
Like,
I tell you all the time that I speak
I don't
with my
like it.
words,
Don't
and
do it.
I'm never going to speak where I have to have you read in between the lines. I'm going to say exactly what I mean. I tell you this all the time, so it always leads to arguments for some reason. I don't know if you've never met anyone that does that or doesn't mean what they say. But I literally am telling you exactly what I mean. You will never have to guess with me what I mean, what I'm trying to say. I'm going to tell you exactly that. You always have a choice. Do whatever you want to do.
We gonna come back to this. We gonna come back to it.
We come back to this. We come back to this every day. And it's the same thing.